Hello, welcome to the ARL Now podcast. I'm your host, Lena, here with Dan, and Vernon is back this week. How y'all
Except he's
doing?
extremely sick.
Wait, Dad, are you sick too?
No, you're sick.
You are.
Oh, okay.
Just
For a
calling you
moment,
out.
I had a flash of camaraderie there. I was like, oh,
No,
finally, solidarity. Nope,
no,
just
I'm
me.
hale and
Okay.
hearty.
Yeah. I tested for flu and COVID earlier in the week, and I didn't have either one. And I was going Fox, and they were like, well, do you have flu or COVID? I'm like, no, I'm just very sick. And they're like, well, tough it up. Come into the studio.
Oh my goodness.
Glad to have you back, Vernon.
Glad to. Actually, I can't even say that. I was in Hawaii. What am I supposed to be like? Oh yeah, thank God I left Hawaii and now I'm here in beautiful sunny Arlington. What am I?
At least it is warm. When I got back
Yeah.
from Florida, I went from Florida and I got back here and it was 60 degrees.
It's rough.
Yeah. And now it's back
Yeah.
to like 85.
I was also camping last week, so I am happy to be back in like air conditioning and a nice bed. So that's nice.
Yeah, that and refrigerators and showers are the one thing. Those are what I miss the most when camping.
Hot water pressure. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not having to wear your flip-flops into a shower, like a communal shower.
Do you do that?
If I'm camping for a long period of time, if it's like a day or two, I won't. But if you're anything longer than that, yeah, you got the little caddy.
Mm-hmm.
Like being in the dorms all over again. All right. Do we just want to get right into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. First story is Freddie's Beach Bar founder plans to wed longtime partner at WorldPride Parade. This was Katie's story. I love this. I think this is amazing. I'm going to be at the parade on Saturday, so I'm definitely going to have to keep an eye out for this.
Nice.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like an extremely cute story. The two of them have been together for like 28 years, I think. So this is Freddie Lutz, who owns Freddie's Beach Bar down in Crystal City, and his partner of decades. They've been, talking off and on. Maybe someday we'll get married. And obviously, when they started dating, it wasn't legal for them to get married in Virginia. And now they're gonna do it, right here during World Pride, and it sounds like it's just gonna be awesome.
I remember talking to Freddie a couple weeks ago about like a different story, and was not all like related to the relationship stuff, but he basically just kept talking about how his partner was like his rock through a lot of like struggles and stuff that was going on. I remember at the time being like, that is incredibly sweet.
That's awesome. Yeah. They're gonna get their own float.
I saw that. I love
So
his
cute.
quote. I love his quote that said, I said, what? Oh my God, that's my dream to get married to Johnny on a pride float. I love that so much. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I feel
this is
like
really
that's
exciting.
yeah, that's definitely not like one of your standard wedding venues. Like, oh, do you want to do like a church or like a barn or I don't know, maybe just a float during the World Pride Parade,
No, you know what? Good. I mean, Freddie's never been like a very conventional person. I think this is perfect for them. So I salute it. I think this is the wedding of the century for Arlington.
Yeah. No, I love this so much. And it looks like they're actually like building the whole chapel and everything on the float.
That's camp, baby.
No, it's amazing. My goodness. Yeah, I love this. I'm really excited. I'm gonna have to see, like, keep an eye out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wedding
I
on
also love that
Saturday.
like they're pulling this all together in the space of like less than a month, I think. They're just going for it.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be awesome either way.
Yeah. And I like that they're having, like, it seems like a quote reception at the bar afterwards, and they're just gonna like throw out invites and stuff. I just think this whole thing is just so much fun. I think it's super heartwarming to see. On a less heartwarming note, moving on. FBI nabs suspect in classified documents case in Arlington Park. So this is interesting. Dan, I think you actually said that this is like a history of this kind of thing in Arlington too, which is really Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is I know Dan was talking about this too, but this warms my heart. This is the kind of story I love reading about. This is some spy stuff in Northern Virginia. That is wild. IT specialist. He was employed with the Defense Intelligence Agency, and he was arrested trying to transmit national defense secrets to a foreign country, which turned out to be an FBI agent. It was like a sting operation thing. So again, that stuff's wild. I
It's like a
love that kind of
movie.
story. Yeah, it's like a movie. And like you said, this has happened all around here before. I'm trying to look it up right now, but there was a Vienna park where it was like a CIA person used to deliver secrets to the Soviets there. I mean, this is all around Northern Virginia. There's stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Who was? Oh, it was Robert Hansen. That was it. Who used to Vienna Park as his dead drop location.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely not in Northern Virginia's reputation to be home to cool spy stuff, or I mean, very serious spy stuff, I should say. But
We have Langley. What are you talking about? That is the thing that is most synonymous with spy stuff.
what is?
Langley, the headquarters of the Central Intelligence Agency,
Well, yeah, I
aka the
mean, yeah,
CIA.
if you wanna, if
You may have heard of them once or twice. Yeah,
I guess so. I just feel like I always think about the cool stuff happening in DC,
that we had we had the hotel in or the parking garage where like the Watergate people
That's true.
met with like Deep Throat.
That's true.
This is spy central around here. No way. I That's one thing I love about this. That also it is a long and storied history of that around Northern Virginia. There was Chain Bridge, right?
Hmm.
So during the War of 1812, the American government hired smugglers to keep some of the national documents, I believe, including the Declaration of Independence, and hide them out at a like tavern on the Virginia side of Chain Bridge. And so during the
Really?
war, that's where they were kept like safe and secret. There's so many secret spots around this area. It's so good. And now we have a new
That's
one.
really interesting.
Yeah. Thank you, Nathan, for your sacrifice and giving us a new fascinating spy story for Northern Virginia.
So
This
I want
dude's
to know, was he always talking to an FBI, or was he like, did someone realize like, oh, he's on the search to like send these to somebody, and the FBI stepped in, like basically catfished him? Or was the FBI the whole time like,
I think the FBI was kind of in on it. From what I'm reading through the like documents that were released, the person
yeah,
sent multiple messages back and forth with an FBI agent and talked about possibly like getting citizenship in their country. They didn't say which
mhm,
country, which I also find kind of interesting because that's what I really want to know is where his plans were
yeah.
to go after this. But yeah, they were going to give over classified information.
So, like, what do you think this guy just like typed into Google like government that will buy my secrets?
I don't know if there's like a Craigslist for selling secrets. Like, I don't know where you go for that. I don't know where you put that sort of arrangement together. If anybody knows, be sure to leave it in the comments in case somebody here is looking to sell their state secrets.
Yeah.
Well, it also says information to a friendly foreign government. So that's
Yeah,
also
I
an
Yeah,
don't know.
that's true.
Just
interesting,
not like Iran or Russia or something.
Your
But
neighborhood
yeah,
foreign government just looking for some secrets.
yeah,
yeah.
What
M
gets
secret leaker looking for country.
Yeah, maybe he just like sought out. He's like, I really want to move to this country.
hmm
This is how I'm gonna do it. So we found like
Yeah.
it must be some really like nice place to live or something.
So it was also supposed to be a like protest against the current administration. They said that they were doing this because they didn't agree or align with the values of this administration, and thus were willing to share classified information.
Mm.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
What gets me about this case too, though, is like this guy. What is he like? 28,
Yeah.
and he's just thrown possibly his whole life away doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, like this is these are really, really serious crimes. Like you don't just go away for like a year or two, especially when like you're not like there's not gonna be a prisoner exchange or something. Like he's not getting sent back to somewhere. He's from the US.
This is jail for life kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Unless you're pardoned, which, has happened.
There's been, yeah, stranger things that have happened.
No, this is probably the end of this guy's career or life outside of jail.
Yeah.
I was gonna say definitely the end of his career.
You're not gonna be.
I don't think they're gonna hire him back anytime
Although
soon.
one of the guys at Doge, not to get like political beyond this, one of the guys at Doge made his whole career before joining Doge with selling secrets from the company he was working for. So again, there've been weirder comeback stories.
Yeah,
I'm
especially
pulling for him.
these days. So
Look, it's a local who
really,
knows the value of our parks.
I really want to know how they knew to start catfishing him, or if they're just kind of like, I'm bored. Let's see if we can catfish somebody into giving us
Cat-
secrets.
Catfishing is such a funny way of saying it. It's like, ooh, you want to sell me state secrets? Ooh. I typically associate catfishing with more illicit conversations.
Yeah, I'll definitely be interested to see how the trial plays out for this one, like how much of it they're gonna make secret. I think we should mention, just as an aside, I mean, this guy has been accused of crimes, he's not been convicted of crimes, but, definitely when you meet a CIA or was it an FBI agent
FBI.
in a park
Yeah, yeah.
after corresponding with him for weeks, allegedly, that sure is not a good look.
That's rough. But yeah, innocent until proven guilty. So
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see, like you said, what kind of information even does come out because it's all about secret, top secret, classified information. So we might not find out a whole lot about it, but
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what happens to him, though. You know, see how that goes.
See how that
I
goes.
find it heartwarming. I think it's a fascinating story. I'm all on
It's
board. I'm
definitely
thrilled.
fascinating. I feel like it's like a movie. Like,
Mhm.
let's meet at this secret location. I'm gonna go ahead and put this little hard drive under here.
Yeah, I was gonna say of all the stories that we've covered, I feel like this is the most Lena coded one.
I did when it was sent as one of the articles that were like, oh, maybe we should talk about this story. I was like, usually I like look at them, I'm like, okay, interesting. That one, I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I like this. Oh my goodness. All right, well, moving to a different sort of crime. The crime rose in 2024, continuing multi-year trend. This one's actually your article, Dan.
Yeah. So the Arlington County Police Department is out with its new 2024 crime report. So, there's a bit of a lag on these things. Obviously, it is now June, and we're just getting the data for how things went in 2024. Crime is up for yet another year in Arlington. It's been rising every single year since at least 2020. And in 2024, just across a wide range of crimes, especially shopliftings and assaults continue to rise this time around.
Yeah, I saw in the article you said that there was a quote, the increase reflects increase in offenses, but also better reporting
Yeah,
by businesses. And I've definitely, especially when it comes to like grocery stores, stuff like that, there's been a lot of added security in like the past year that wasn't there before. Like, normally there are two doors now, like by me, they don't have one door completely shut down. So you have to go by the
yeah,
security
yeah.
officer, and they've gotten a lot more with the self checkouts and stuff. So when it comes to shoplifting, I'm sure that's probably a huge part of why it's risen
Yeah,
and
I
just
Yeah.
found
just
it a lot
being better
harder.
reported.
Yeah, I find it a lot harder to shoplift now. That's very difficult. Do not
Normally,
encourage
you
it.
can just stick those candy bars in your pocket as you're walking out, right?
I mean, they're just giving them away, really. You heard it here
You've had to
first,
cut down.
ARL now. It is harder to shoplift. I know, I'm doing it for a story.
To cut down on your shoplifting habit. I'm so sorry for that.
Those Roslyn Rangers are going to catch me.
Safety
That is
Ranger.
exactly what I
Yeah,
was
safety
thinking of
Rangers. Yeah.
when I was writing this. I was like, oh, yeah, they got those people walking around Roslyn now, so you better watch out, I
If
guess.
you're working for the Roslyn bid, and again, love you guys, respect you guys, but somebody there saw this and is like, well, after the Roslyn Rangers program was implemented, there is a like 70% drop in crimes.
So
Oh my goodness.
that actually is another point here, though, is that when you look at the data for the first couple months of this year, it seems like it is no longer rising. So the trends are changing a little bit.
100% increase in people selling state secrets, though,
That's
over
true.
last year.
Over
Allegedly.
last month.
Yeah.
I hope they put that in next
Allegedly.
year's crime report.
Yeah.
the one thing that I saw, incidents of disorderly conduct went from 535 to 632, 100 more this year. That is the other ones, it's like, oh, it went up by like a little bit. That one, way up. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that one. I
Yeah.
mean, just a bunch
Dan,
of
you gotta
drunk
cut that
people.
out.
Yeah, I know. Half of them were me. Sorry, just around
That's why we
Spider
call him
Kelly's on a Friday
disorderly Dan
night.
around the office.
If they had safety rangers in late night Clarendon, that's what I would have put that to, but no.
Should hire counselors for Clarendon, like for people stumbling out of the bars, like crying, which I always see when I'm in Clarendon. Like, you should just have people there on standby to be like, "Do you want to talk about it?" Like, that's the new program.
Bars have in-house therapists.
In-house therapist. That's the future. No, the future is that'll be like some AI. That'll be some AI program on the wall being like, "Hi, I'm the bar. Would you like to talk about your problems, human?"
What are you crying about in the bathroom today?
Could actually see that, but that's very dystopian, Vernon.
Lena, it is your 5th time this week crying in the bathroom at the bar. Would you like to talk about it with a trained medical professional?
Oh my gosh. I
Sorry,
will say in college, I had friends who were notorious for crying in the bathroom, and on multiple occasions, I'd go and be like, oh my God, what's wrong? Through sobbing tears. I don't know. Like, I can't help you then. So maybe a
I
therapist wouldn't even be good.
I love how somebody's pouring their heart out to you about depression. You're like, ha, sucks. Like, I cannot help
No,
you.
no, literally. They're just like, I don't know why I'm crying. I just am crying. It's like, okay, let's,
Yeah.
Are
Also,
you
Dan,
take
I
all
know
the
it's
time we need, but
saying that's a disorderly conduct case?
yeah, I'm in the bathroom secretly calling the police.
yeah. Hey, 911. Somebody drunk and disorderly in my apartment. They're my
They
roommate.
won't stop crying.
And yeah, I know it sounds dystopian, but in Fairfax, a little sidebar. In Fairfax this week, we did a story about a bunch of people who were like meeting for a conference on the future of AI. And one of them was this hospital person who was like, 40% of hospital staff are going to be replaced by AI. And I was like, that sounds awful. So
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible idea.
yeah, everywhere I've
I
been
feel like
going, I've
if
just been
there's
seeing that.
one career decision that should be safe from AI, nurses,
Well,
nurses.
again, I know that this is like a huge sidetrack here, really off the rails. But I think part of it is they're saying is that a lot of administrative work in the hospital could be replaced with AI, like not necessarily like the talking with patients side of it, but a lot of the like paperwork and stuff. But still, you're talking about reductions in like the workforce at hospitals, which is yikes.
Yeah, I think, oh, it'd be great if, it helped them a little bit, but,
Yeah.
you know,
They're like, well, we're worried about careers that are impacted by being replaced with AI. And I'm sitting there like typing at my computer as like a journalist, like, uh-oh, I'm in danger.
no. All right, well, hopefully next year the crime rate goes down. Moving
Yeah,
on.
That'd be
Dan.
great.
Dan, let's hope the crime rate goes down next year.
So this is our last story. AWLA, a contest, seeks photos of local pets to feature on beer cans. This is super fun. I like this a lot.
Yeah, they're teaming up with the Boardroom. It's a brewery in Lyon Park, and they're doing a pet photo competition. The idea here is that people submit pictures of their cats, dogs, and other small companions, and they're going to have a big voting process. It's $25 to submit your pet and $1 per vote to go into this. So, my kind of mixed feelings on this is that it won't necessarily be the cutest cat or dog that makes it to the beer can, but the idea behind this is that they're raising funding for the shelter. And hopefully they're looking to raise at least $50,000. So that'll be
Wow.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see. I've never heard of paying to vote. I've heard of like paying to submit, but that's fun. We'll see. I mean, a dollar is not a crazy amount of money. So
Yeah.
hopefully
They've
people are still kind of like, sure.
yeah, they've already received 70 submissions and I believe they've raised $6,000 already. So
Wow.
it's already off to a good start.
Yeah, it does sound a little undemocratic. But
Dan, are you gonna do like an election rigging story about the AWLA's pet contest? Like, we need to get money out of politics. We need to, yeah.
He's gonna go full Bernie Sanders for this
Yeah.
specific
It's like
scenario.
Wiggles is not actually the cutest cat. The 99% of cats do not.
yeah, I'm sure the top 1% of 1% of animals are gonna get so many of the votes on this one.
The
Oh my
1% of
gosh.
1% of cats do not belong on the beer cans.
Vernon, are you gonna enter your cat or your rabbit on this one?
Excuse me? My cat?
Your
That's a
rabbit.
hate crime.
Your rabbit. Sorry.
That's
Hate crime.
like, culture is not a costume, Dan. I don't know. That I am such a cheap person that like $25 to enter and one vote for everybody that I would hope to enter that. I'm like, I love the Animal Welfare League of Arlington. I don't know if I'm doing that. We'll see.
Pay
Wow.
$1 to vote for Hugo.
Very generous of you.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to
Since
let him know.
it's only small companions.
He doesn't even
So,
drink beer, so it's not like he's gonna know.
hey, my horse does drink beer, and I'm not allowed to submit him. So, just putting that out there.
Oh, I heard the bitterness in your voice there. I just put together what small companion meant when you were like, oh, it's only small companions. So
You could try to submit him.
also,
I don't know how
just
that's
say
gonna
he's a
go for
miniature
you.
horse. He's small
Yeah,
for
and then
horses.
I'll just Photoshop his pictures so that
Gotta
he's
make-
like only up to my knees.
They have some horses like that.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
he
he is
like
not
that?
one of them.
Okay.
No, he is probably close to 1,300 pounds. So,
Mm.
yeah, I don't think I would consider him a small companion.
Wait, why does your
Relative.
horse drink beer? Is that a normal thing for horses?
Yeah. Yeah. They're so big that the alcohol, doesn't do anything to them. And the ingredients of beer, it's like the wheat something, it's actually good for them if they have trouble sweating and letting heat escape from their bodies. Beer actually helps them. So,
Really?
yeah,
I
there are
never knew
some
that.
horses that it's like, yeah, they get a beer every day to help them sweat.
Huh.
Everybody, welcome
if
to
I
our
give-
new Horse Fact podcast.
Yeah,
Hoofing it.
that's fascinating. What if I give a beer to my dog?
I think unless it's a 1,000-pound dog.
What you get is animal welfare showing up at your house. And your dog gets a drunken disorderly charge.
another statistic.
Another statistic going up. The dog drunken disorderlies are out of control.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, the lyric,
Whiskey for
whiskey for
Yeah.
my men and
Yeah.
beer for my horses. Yeah,
okay.
his horses will drink beer.
I do not take all of my life advice from country music lyrics, but yes, I have heard that one before.
No, and I probably would not suggest that you do, but
All right.
yeah.
That's been another
Does it-
episode of our horse podcast, horsing around.
Horsing around with ARL
Next
now.
time, more horse facts.
Horsing around with ARL now. I love that.
When did it say when the voting and everything ends for this?
Yeah, I'm sure it probably did. This says Monday, June 30th is how long you have to submit your pictures.
Okay. I wonder how long after the voting and everything they'll actually start putting the pets on the beer cans.
Yeah. They also, so they said within 24 hours of that closing, they will start to become available. Yeah, it's pretty quick
Wow.
turnaround. They also
is a
mentioned that there will be
Very quick turnaround.
an opportunity for a pet photo shoot with an AWLA photographer. So that's honestly, that's worth the $25 alone. That's kinda sweet.
Yeah.
Pet photographer sounds like a really cool job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
know. It
You lose
also
your
sounds stressful. Can you imagine how many pictures and how many pictures you have to edit?
Here's my pitch for a new show. This guy who works at a national security industry gets fired after he leaked classified information at a bench in Arlington. Has to turn his life around, and he's now hired as a new pet photographer after years of taking pictures for the defense industry. Yeah, coming this fall to ARL Now.
Sounds very Hallmark movie.
You know what's not classified? Our love.
It's itself.
It really does.
No. All right. Well, I'm going to keep an eye out for Hugo to be submitted so that I
Yeah.
can spend my $1 to go vote for Hugo.
Impressed you pulled that name out. I do not remember anybody's pets' names.
It's
Very happy
okay.
you had that one.
What if it wasn't even Hugo or just like came up with someone else that I saw at some point had a rabbit named Hugo?
I'll be completely honest. Like I feel very bad now. I do not remember your horse's name, and I'm pretty sure you said it like 5 minutes ago. What's the
Oh,
horse's
did I?
name?
He's big and red. Take a guess.
There's so many offensive answers to that. I don't know where to start.
Clifford.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'll never forget that.
That's okay. You'll forget it next week. It'll be
Yeah.
okay.
See you next
said
week.
big and red. I was like a barn
Yeah,
or
I
like
don't
a
know.
wall.
No, like a big red dog, but he's the
That
big
makes
red
sense.
horse.
Isn't Big Red like a
Mhm.
tobacco chew or something? I don't know.
It's a gum.
Oh, that's it. I
It
chew
was
on that.
also what they called Secretariat too. Big red.
Another horse fact. You got to space these out for next week on Horsing Around.
Should I just bring one random horse fact every week? Just one.
Every week,
That's how
one
we'll
horse
start
fact.
the episode.
Your horse
Today's
facts are
horse
this
fact of
week.
the day. There aren't that many. I feel like the fact that they drink beer is probably the most interesting horse fact.
We're really starting strong.
So it's just downhill from here, guys.
Speaking of downhill, is it true that horses can't go downstairs? Or is that a myth?
I've never seen one go downstairs, but they can, I mean, they could probably figure it out. If you watch like people that do trails and stuff, like ranchers, they'll take their horse down like cliffs. And it's like, God, it looks scary. But
Oh,
so if they can do
yep.
that, I assume they can do stairs.
You have to test it and let us know next week. Sadly, Clifford is no longer with us. We took him to the top of the staircase.
Want the
Literally
audio.
could not name a staircase that would be large enough for him to go down that is in my general vicinity.
You go to the Exorcist steps down in Georgetown, just take him to the top, and it's like, all right, we're going down, buddy.
We're doing an experiment.
We're doing an
Him I would
experiment.
not trust to go downstairs. He hardly knows where his legs are at any given time. So maybe a different horse, but if you're asking that personal horse going downstairs, I would say no.
I am imagining that all of this is going to be cut because somebody's going to be reading through this, like hitting like the 30-minute skip ahead and being like, are they still talking about horses?
Still talking about horses. Listen, we can go all afternoon.
Yeah. We'll vamp about anything. Go submit listeners what you want us to vamp about next week.
Any horse questions? Let us know.
Any fun
Yeah.
horse stories, you know.
The main attraction.
Just begin and end each episode with
That's why
them.
everyone's actually here, right?
Yeah. They get the crime out of the way. It's good.
All right.
All right. Well, those are our stories for the week. I will talk to you guys next week. And yeah, everyone go keep an eye out, see if Vernon submits his bunny rabbit Hugo and go vote for him.
Probably won't.
We love you,
You guys.
Hugo.